Power BI interview question: how do you handle blanks, nulls, and duplicates in Power Query? This was the most voted interview question on my community post. First scenario that we will talk about is how to handle blanks. So you can see for this customer name column, for this particular row, customer ID 1004, customer name is blank. The obvious way to handle that is we replace this blank with NA. So I click on the replace value to find, because it's a blank I do nothing, and here I can put NA, that is not available. Ideally what should happen is the moment I click OK, it should replace this customer name with NA. Let's see if that happens. I click OK, nothing is happening. Why? Because this is not a blank. Then what is it? It's a white space. What is white space? It looks like a blank, but inside this has got space bars or tabs which doesn't look, but that is there. So how to handle that? You just need to select the column, right click, go to transform and trim. Once you do that, it will trim those white spaces. Now if I do the exact same thing, that is replace value, select nothing here, and to replace with I will put the exact same value. This time you will see that the value will get replaced in the place of blank, and as expected we see this is happening. So is this the only way to handle the blanks or null values? No, there are different ways. For example, first of all you should check whether the value that you are seeking for is available in another table in your data set, or it can be fixed by the data source team. Let's say the data is coming from SAP, then SAP team should update the data in the source, and as a result it will get corrected here also. Another way is that you discuss with your business stakeholders and decide whether these rows should be deleted or replaced or what needs to be done. Now for this particular case, as you can see, we can derive this value by doing a mathematical calculation. 2 into 500 is 1000. So like that we can get the value for this one also. Okay, you don't have to handle for this one case. This is an entire table, so a lot of values are there. Okay, how do you know how many such values are there which are problematic? Go to view, then you have multiple options like this column quality. This can give you how many errors, how many empty values are there. You can make use of column profile, column distribution. So now in order to handle this, what we can do is we will create a new column, and that column will have this particular calculation that we were talking about. So go to this add column ribbon, click on custom column. Let's call this new column as sales amount updated, and as we know this is nothing but quantity into unit price. So you just select this quantity and just multiply it with the unit price. Okay, if I click OK, that will create a new column, and as we can see this is giving me the value. This, see, 2 into 500 is equal to 1000. So we are getting the correct output also now. So I don't need this sales amount column anymore. So I'll just right click and remove this particular column, and we will be making use of this particular column because this gives me the expected data for all the values. Okay, so this is one way to handle it. Now let's talk about the third scenario wherein we can see that this is a null value for certain regions. Okay, so one way to handle that is we can replace with NA or unknown, but make sure that if you are using NA in one column, in the second column also you have to use the same keyword NA so that it looks uniform when you make a report. For one column you cannot have NA, and for other column you cannot have unknown. Like this you cannot work. For this customer ID 1008, region is null. So I can see for the same customer, I can see the region is east. So I need to bring this region for all the null values in this region column. Okay, so in order to handle this, I need to click on this merge queries option. Then we can see we have already orders table. I will take this customer underscore master table. In both these two tables I have customer ID, which is common column, and we can say this is creating this left outer join all from the first and matching one from the second. We are okay with this. I'll click OK. That creates this particular column, but from this entire column I only want region, so I will select region. I click OK, and now if you compare this column with the existing region column, we can see this is null, but for this new column we have the east value. Okay, so this is giving me the data as expected, so I will remove the existing one. Okay, So this is another way of handling the null values. And the last thing that is how to handle the duplicates. So there will be certain cases where you want to remove the duplicates. You need to select that particular column. You just right click and click on this remove duplicates. Okay. But the bottom line is that while doing these changes, make sure that you have the uniformity, and also you need to understand the business impact. You cannot manufacture the changes on your own, because it should have the business credibility. Business should approve these things. Ultimately, it should not impact your dashboard. Okay.